Let's talk about JP Morgan, everyone. The stock that showed an incredible movement in its financial statements in the third quarter, surprising the market by 9.6%. What could this be? The market expected earnings per share of USD 399, but it was presented as USD 437. 9% above expectations, right? We are talking about the largest and most important banks in the world. When we look at its financial aspect, it had a year-over-year growth of 3%. It may seem small, but a year ago, its growth was 23%. So when we consider the 3% now, it relates to that past period of strong growth. In the previous quarter, its revenues grew by an additional 31%. So we can already see a correction here, but still very solid. 39.5 billion in revenue compared to 47 billion in the previous quarter. It was 38.4 a year ago. Basically, we have here the net income of 12.9 billion. There is a significant decline compared to the last quarter, and also a slight decline compared to a year ago, which was at $13.2 billion with its net income. The earnings per share are 4.37 against the previous quarter of 6.12 and a year ago of 4.33. It was without a doubt a great result. Gustavo, but compared to the last quarter, it decreased a bit, right? It did, because the last quarter was out of the ordinary. It was thus absurdly strong. Normal, but even so, we continue to grow. When we look at dividends, it is a paper that pays. A company that pays little dividend, announcing USD 1.25 per share, a dividend of 2.25 below American safe securities. It is not a good company for those who like dividends, but for those who appreciate portfolio appreciation, it is an excellent company. When we talk about July, until September, we had a slight increase of 4.5%. But so far, accounting for these days in October, we are at 10.56%. The stock is indeed in a good upward trend. It has already made some average test corrections and is now continuing its movement. As we are talking about a historical peak price, what does that mean? It means that this price range, these values they are at, $223 is the maximum that has ever been paid, that the market has ever paid for the shares of this company. With that, operations. Do you intend to enter now into the operations of this? From this company, know that it is a slower growth. It is not such explosive growth because it is at an all-time high, and the market no longer has a price memory for how expensive these stocks are. With that, the stock tends to rise more slowly, okay, but a nice upward trend in JP Morgan for sure.